All right, it's Monday night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a very early/late Cageside Live. My name's Eddie Law. Shooting the shit with you guys on a Monday night. Brought to you by CagesidePress.com. Yeah, I've done a show in a minute. There was really not much to talk about here, but we have a whole lot to talk about tonight with UFC 280 coming up this weekend. Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev fighting for the vacant lightweight belt. So far as myself tonight, we'll see. Maybe we'll get a surprise and someone will show up here, but it's going to be all UFC 280 tonight. A little early putting this up, but still. Actually, you know what? Let's back up a little bit because we had an event last night or Saturday night. Alexa Grasso defeats Viviane Araujo by decision. A lot of people calling this fight boring. I don't understand that. Like, look, if you were expecting a knockout from either one of these ladies out of your maybe Araujo, but Viviane would knock someone out. But with a striker like Alexa Grasso, I think it's gonna be very difficult to pull that off. So calling it boring to me was kind of lame. But yo, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. SJ, my guy, was good. So everything's great, by the way. How are you doing? But so calling the main event boring to me was kind of wild. I thought it was very technical. It was a lot of fun to see the aspects of like the chess match, right? That was a chess match, like a heavyweight fight, like for lack of a better term or a better example. Unless Menifield knocking out Misha Sukhanov, that was a checker game. Hey, good to hear, man. Good to hear. That was a checker game. This was a chess match, straight up. So I really enjoyed how Alexa was like pissed and fast, right? Like anytime Viviane would said something, Alexa Grasso would counter with just as combos. So until the very end, when they both started getting a little tired, they started throwing like 1, 2, like maybe like 2 punch combos at most, 2 strike combos at most. But early on, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4 strikes that flying out of Ujo. So overall, it was a really good fight and everything. And I do think Alexa Grasso won all 5 rounds, but I forgot exactly how the judges had it. All in all, good performance, but we're looking for someone to take on Miss. Let me see what I got here. Oh, we're looking for someone to take on Miss Bullet, Miss Valentina Shevchenko, and it's one of those things where is there anybody that could actually give her a challenge outside of Amanda Nunes and everything? So, and that would have to be at 35. So who knows? But Alexa Grasso says she wants one more main event before she gets the title shot. I don't think that will happen. I think she will get the title shot next, and obviously that'll be like a co-main pay-per-view, maybe third fight, depending on how stacked that card is. I doubt it's gonna be as stacked as the one this weekend, but we'll talk about that here soon, as soon as possible. So that went down. Jonathan Martinez, the second round TKO of Cub Swanson, that was dope. Man, that kid is good. And if you're Cub Swanson, are you questioning, coming back to fight again? Are you thinking about maybe retiring? He was already on the fence, from what I understand, about retiring and everything. So it's a hard one to It would suck, man, to see Cub Swanson go out on a loss. I really do hope he comes back. Does like some kind of legacy fight, some kind of fun fight with another vet or whatever. But I think Mr. Alex Behunin was throwing out Cub Swanson was Uriah Faber, which by the way would be kind of too much because Uriah's been out for like ever, feels like. Which I think he would do it, but you do that for the California King belt, whatever, and then call it a day. And I think Uriah won. I think he won his last fight, so I don't think he'll do that. But either way, that would have been a fun fight for him to come back on and maybe go out on that one. Dusko Todorovic. First of all, this fight I said before. I said this is going to be a good one. Why? If nothing else, once the Askar Askarov fight fell out because Askar didn't want to fight. Didn't want to fight in the end. He just didn't want to. He didn't even take. They tried to rebook the fight. He didn't take it. So what are you gonna think of that what you will. But once that fight fell out, I thought this fight was the one that was gonna be like a fun one, right? And it delivered because first round, Jordan Wright put it on Dusko. Second round, Dusko was like, screw this. I'm gonna make this ugly, and he turned into a brawl. And once it became that, it was on. So it was a dope fight, a lot of fun. Unfortunately for Jordan Wright, he was on the losing end of that one. But Dusko, first of all, great guy. Great guy to talk to. I got to talk to him, once for a few minutes after his fight, and it was actually back in December. But it was actually pretty dope. And he showed us a picture of his busted leg, and it was gross. So he didn't let me take a picture of it though. So what are you gonna do? How about Sunset gets the decision win over Victor Henry? Sunset made a lot of changes for this one. He showed up at Extreme Couture with Coach Eric. Without announcing, he just showed up one day, and they brought in a 40-year-old on a 4-fight losing streak and put work into him. Not a lot of gyms will do that, so you got to give, especially not a lot of gyms with a lot of guys already in there that are high-level UFC, Bellator guys. So you got to give them a lot of credit for bringing them in and everything. And he put together a great performance. So we'll see what he does here next. The aforementioned Alonzo Menifield knockout of Misha Cirkunov. Alonzo, you saw it in his face after he was like, oh, because Misha took a while to get up. He landed a clean left and that right under the arm just to finish it off. And Misha didn't get up for a minute. So, I think everybody was concerned for him, Alonzo including. Alonzo's a good dude, so I get it. Well, Tank was good, my boy. So that went down. Then Neil Magny. So, wow. Neil Magny, this Google these those fights on. Yeah, Brandon Royval against Askar Askarov was the fight, like the best fight on this card. And when it fell out, what are you going to do? Askar didn't want to catch weight, and then he doesn't want to rebook the fight for whatever reason. Mana Martinez should have finished the fight like 15 times over. James Cross was in his ass trying to get him to finish. Like he was yelling at him between rounds, like what the fuck are you doing, giving him rounds and stuff like that. And so I thought he should have finished the fight earlier. And I think he would have. So much respect to Brandon Davis for being super tough, but I think Martinez should have taken him out. And then Jacob Malkoun. Mamba Malkoun, I like his nickname. It's probably one of my favorite nicknames. Mamba Malkoun takes the decision over Nick Maximov, who was clearly injured. His right leg was clearly injured, possibly a knee. We don't know for sure, but the way he was moving, it looked like a knee, but who knows? Got to give it to those Nick Diaz Academy boys. They don't quit. He was telling the doc, I'm fine in between rounds. The doc was literally going like, are you sure? Like, you want me to look at it? He's like, I'm fine. They let him fight. So he finished the fight, but those guys are seriously kill or be killed. And I'll say this: Malkoun should have kicked the shit out that leg. He didn't, and afterwards he said it's because he didn't train the kick, so he didn't know if Maximov was faking it to like lure him into kicking and getting cracked with some bombs. But fair enough. Joanderson Brito might be one of the more exciting featherweights in the UFC right now, especially off that. I mean, it was on from the word go, and then taking the back on Lucas and then dragging him to the ground like that, and finish it by rear naked choke was a dope finish. Pierre Rodriguez taking a decision over Sam Hughes. A lot of people thought that Sam Hughes should have won that fight because Pierre didn't do anything with takedowns. I get that. And none of us won this fight, let's be honest. So let's move on. All right. So Tuto Taira is a dope fighter. Oh my God. 22 years old and doing crazy submissions and everything. So, and then CJ Vergara, you gotta hand it to him. He came in 3 pounds over. Taira took the fight still, took 30% of the purse. So, I guess at least CG got paid something, but it was he didn't. That's not how. Obviously, that's not what he wanted to happen there. How many fighters were betting on UFC? I bet a lot because for the UFC to actually come out and say something about it means that something was going on. We'll talk about that here in a minute, of course. Then first fight of the night, Pete Rodriguez knocks out Mike Jackson. Mike Jackson I gotta hand it to him for sticking in the UFC as long as he did. And I think that was the last fight in his contract, so I think it's over. But you know, a lot of people have opinions of him. I don't know him personally, so I can't tell you anything. I don't follow him on Twitter, so people call him like racist and all that stuff. I don't know. I have no idea. But I looked into it a little bit yesterday, and I was just like, oh, okay, I get what they're saying. Like, I understand why they're saying what they're saying. I don't care really to get into it, but either way. All right. So that was UFC 280, and Paul Felder replaces Joe Rogan on broadcast team. Do you guys care? It's a legit question. I never talk about it. I never post about it or nothing. But do you guys care who this commentary is, like, ahead of time? Like, if someone posts an article saying the commentary team is this for this pay per view, yada yada, whatever, would that change whether or not you watch it? Serious question. I'm not shitting on nobody that posted the articles. I think it's, do what you do. I mean, we would too if people actually wanted to hear about it. I just don't know anyone that actually wants to hear about it. But if you do want to hear about it, let me know. I'll start posting that stuff. All right. Yeah, so that's UFC Fight Night, Grasso vs. Araujo. That overall fun card. If you were around on Saturday, I did a live, I guess, a fight companion, for lack of a better term, for the main card. Might do that again. Not this weekend, but for the next pay-per-view, possibly. We'll see. And it was a dope time. So I had a lot of fun doing it. Maybe next time I'm gonna line up some guests, hopefully, to come in during the event. Because talking for almost 3 hours, I could do it. But I was talking to myself for like 3 hours. Luckily, hey, Eshy was around, and Bowie, not Bowie. There was like a handful of guys around and everything. People came in and out. It was pretty dope. So those are always very interactive. So come in, I'll put your comments up and everything. We go back and forth, have a lot of fun with it. I care about women commentating college football games, mainly Hawkeye games. Oh, you're an Iowa fan. All right. I didn't even listen to the UFC's commentary last card. I was on our. Yeah, you were. Yes, and I appreciate you, my friend. I really do appreciate that. A lot of fun, and I always feel your support, and your guys' support. You guys are dope. All right, let's talk some gambling. So UFC put this out today. The nose, the nose is the first person that I saw put it up. So I gotta, I guess, give him that credit for being the first one. Why the hell can't I find? Give me a second. Let me find this thing. I know I had it up, but they basically. Oh, I did. Okay, cool. Here you go. There it is. So, Hunter Campbell, UFC Chief Business Officer, which, by the way, the man that will likely replace Dana White at some point one day. He goes, to all athletes and managers, we are writing to advise you of a change to the UFC athlete conduct policy to which each UFC athlete subscribes under our promotion agreement and or ancillary rights agreement. As you know, the UFC athlete conduct policy requires UFC contracted athletes to act in a legal, ethical, and responsible manner and avoid conduct detrimental to the integrity of the UFC organization. And here's where it gets interesting. In light of clear direction that we have received from regulators responsible for the regulated sports betting industry in the United States, we are compelled at this time to recognize in the UFC athlete conduct policy certain restrictions relating to wagering by our athletes, members of their teams, and certain others. So basically, somebody reached out to the UFC saying like, hey, we see some of your fighters might be placing bets. You might want to get your house in order for we have to regulate. Regulators. Mount up. So I'm corny today. Corny. That's straight up just whack stuff. What the fuck? Fourth wall, there's some fuzzy shit on here. All right. As you may already be aware, most states in which regulated sports betting is conducted prohibit athletes from wagering on promotions or events with which they are affiliated. If you guys know the Calvin Ridley situation with the Falcons in the NFL, homeboy got suspended for an entire year or indefinitely for betting on the Falcons, for betting on Falcons games that he wasn't even playing in. He was injured. They came down on him hard. Look at the way they went down on, as hard as they came down on that man. Like, you could imagine why the UFC was like, oh shit, we better get our house in order. Many states have also extended prohibition to the athletes' training teams, family members, and others that have access to insider information. Come on. Related to the athletes and their events. In some instances, violations of these prohibitions could result in criminal charges. How can we get charged as regular ass people whenever anything happens, but other people that are treated like first class citizens get nothing? It's like I didn't see that. The blind eye. That happens all the time, but it's bullshit. To The UFC's contracted athletes are not exempt from these prohibitions, which state legislators and regulators have implemented for the purpose of maintaining the integrity of our sport. In order to assist our athletes in understanding their obligations under the laws of the majority of states in which sports betting is permitted, and in further support of these integrity measures, UFC has incorporated a wagering prohibition into the UFC athlete conduct policy, expressly prohibiting athletes from wagering on any UFC match, not just theirs. Now, we've heard before, okay, fighters place bets on themselves, and they made a lot of money. Their friends, their family do it. They made a lot of money. They put this out on the microphone and everything. No more. As far as like the athletes themselves, and now their families and friends are like, iffy. But now as a fighter, you can't bet on yourself. You can't bet on any UFC fight. None. Now, it says clearly UFC, so you probably still bet on Bellator if you want to, but do what you do. He says, so continues. We have also provided some additional information to assist athletes determining the potential scope of state-imposed wagering restrictions on others. Note, this policy does not prohibit UFC athletes from entering into sponsorship agreements with sports betting companies. UFC athletes may continue to pursue such sponsorships in accordance with applicable law. We appreciate your dedication and yada, yada, yada. Contact me, sure, whatever. So, it's kind of wild, right? Yeah. You know they have nothing to worry about with Khabib. Connor's probably betting millions over in Dublin. Yeah, well, how's it going to enforce family and friends? It's more if the states, someone in the states, someone that can regulate and all that. It's more that, I think, where if the state, that the feds, whatever the law, I guess, believes that there was a law broken, then they go in and investigate, and then that's how to enforce it. But it's going to be very difficult, if not near impossible, to do that, I think. So I think the friends and family are going to be just fine. It's just a weird thing to do. Now, where I think is bullshit is that they go, you can still get sponsorships, but a lot of these sponsorships may fall out because of that ban, right? How many times have you guys gone on Instagram and seen such and such fighter going like, hey guys, UFC, whatever this weekend, here are my picks and my bets and yada yada, and I'm betting on this and this and this. You can't say that no more. You can't say that anymore. If you do, you get it, they're gonna be like looking at you like, oh, are you actually doing it? Like, come on. So where does that leave us? And who the hell knows what's going on? I just hope that nobody loses their sponsorship. It's really hard to get sponsors in the UFC now, outside sponsors, because of the Venom deal, and before that the Reebok deal, and now the crappy Rock shoes and all that. So we'll see what happens, man. But I feel for the fighters because now they got another thing they have to keep an eye on and everything, and they have to police their own family and friends with it. So it's shit. It is just crap, honestly. Now, mind you, it is because of the law, not because of the UFC. It's not really the UFC's fault. But in order to cover their own asses and their athletes, you have to put it in the conduct. So I get it, but man. Yeah, Kevin Holland's always promoting my bookie. Colby does it. There you go. I always see like the first fight that comes to mind is like Michelle Watterson, stuff like that. So bring back the short sponsorship. So dumb. Look, I think they should too. I think it's unfair to do it now. I don't know. I still don't understand fully why they went the full. I mean, they wanted to make it look like, oh shit. And into the stream, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alex Grasso, how you doing?
What's up, dude? How are you?
Good. Went an hour early. Appreciate you showing up, dude. We're talking about this new conduct, addition to the conduct, right? I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. Just came out not too long ago about athletes cannot bet not just on their UFC fights, but on any UFC fights. What was your take on this whole thing?
I mean, it sucks for the athletes, but if the UFC wants to, and the athletes in the UFC want to become a legit top 5 sport, they have to do this. Like, football players can't do it, hockey players can't do it, baseball players can't do it, soccer, like you just can't do it. It's just not. You just can't do it, unfortunately. So hopefully it's not gonna kind of fuck up their sponsorship deals that they have with all the betting companies, because that's a big thing right now. And then I know a lot of fighters get paid that way, so hopefully that doesn't really screw anything up. But I mean, it is what it is.
And that's the thing where I was saying, like, first of all, I brought the Calvin Ridley example that you know damn well too. Calvin Ridley in the NFL suspended. They didn't just give him a term either. They said indefinitely. because he bet on Falcons games that he wasn't even playing because he was hurt. That right there is just, and that's the example I brought up as far as the legality of it, because this is a thing about the states. It's not about the UFC. Like, people are trying to make the UFC look bad about on this whole thing. It's not really their fault. Like you were saying, they want to be top 5 sport. You got to follow this. So, we just hope that sponsorships don't fall out on a lot of fighters have sponsors that are betting sites.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't want to bring this up, but like, you never know, if you're hurting for money,
mm-hmm.
And you're gonna bet on yourself or bet on somebody and just throw a fight to make some money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never fucking know. You hope that the fighters and everything wouldn't do that, but you fucking never know. You never know someone's situation, and it is with the old conduct with the athletes, like, that was totally possible.
No, and we've seen it in boxing. It's there's been real examples in boxing, plenty. There's been like point shaving scandals that go back to like college days. Arizona State got busted for many years ago, like decades ago. It goes all the way back. There's a reason why they do this thing, but just like you were saying, and I agree with you. I just hope it doesn't mess up sponsorships, because I mean, this last weekend, not as much as last weekend, but the last UFC event, every single fighter was like, shout out to something bets and shout out to something bets, like every fight. And I was joking around like the UFC is gonna come down and be like, no more of that shit. And they didn't really, but they kind of did. So
and I feel like with James Krause being out there, like being like a guy that was like, yeah, I bet on my fighters. Yeah, I bet. And then I heard that like he was taking, I didn't see it, but I had heard like other people say that he was taking people's accounts and doing bets on it, which is totally illegal.
That's very illegal, yeah.
And he was totally open about it. So I think him being so open about it probably made this go a little bit faster, but yeah.
Oh, I guarantee he got a call from Hunter Campbell personally. That dude definitely got a call. All right, so that's a UFC betting. I don't want to call it scandal, just the new changes to the conduct policy. We'll see how that affects anybody. I'm curious to see if anyone gets busted. That's what I want to know, because I think it's one of those things where you have to really screw up to get caught. So yeah. All right, we already talked about this last weekend, but what'd you think about the main event? A lot of people coming out saying it was boring, and maybe I'm just a nerd, but I enjoyed it because I like a good technical chess match. But seriously, right after I was like, man, that was a cool fight, and people are like commenting on it, saying like, oh, that was boring as shit and all that stuff. What'd you make of it?
I mean, it was fine. To be completely honest, we had 2 fighters back in the media room, so it did not have my full attention. I watched the first 2 rounds, and then I think we got Rafael Sensao come back, and I was much more. I wanted to talk to him. Right. I thought his win and his story was a lot more important than the main event.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'd be lying to say I watched the entire fight, but I mean, from what I saw, and it wasn't the most exciting fight, but I think we all knew like it wasn't going to be crazy exciting.
Yeah, no, the example I came up with that night that I was telling people on Twitter was like, look, there's Alexa Grasso and Viviane Araujo, and then there's Rose Namajunas and Carlos Parza, 2. That fight was bad. I'll tell you, I'll openly say this. We're in the media room, okay? This is the Footprint Center, okay? And the media room's down. The media room they made for us, because there was a whole lot of media, was downstairs. While that fight was going, after the first 2 rounds, and we realized this is going to be like this the whole way, we may or may not have watched Canelo get pieced up on someone's laptop. I'm just saying that might have happened, and it was way more entertaining because we were like, holy shit, what's going on with Canelo? But that's about it. So you guys want to watch a boring fight? That's an example. I'll openly say that shit.
Or Norma Dumont versus Aspen Ladd. That was bad.
My God. Aspen Ladd, PFL at 145. All roads lead to. I mean, she gives Julia Budd first, but who are you going to fight after that? What do you think of that move?
I mean, it had to happen. I mean, for her career, I think it's going to go better with the PFL, because obviously the UFC has no intention on making a 145 division. So just for her career, I'm happy that she went to to the PFL. And
Mhm.
I mean, depending on what Kayla does, because I've heard that she's only doing super fights
Mhm.
from now on. So I mean, and if they're doing a new featherweight division, she has a clear chance to win $1 million.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, and I'm sure they're hoping that happens, but I don't know. The Aspen Lad story, saga, whatever you want to call it, really got me irritated after like the millionth time she missed weight. It's just like, how many times are we gonna do this? Like the last time she made weight, I don't know if she made weight after that, but the one where she was on a scale and you heard the scale shake, like we're all looking at like, what the hell's going on with her? Like, that's pretty bad. So
Yeah.
the move to 45 was just long overdue. And good for her. Good luck. Good luck, Aspen Lad.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's talk about UFC 280 to close out the show here. A little quick one. Stacked card that I really, really wish was here. All right, I know Abu Dhabi pays a lot of money to get these cards over. I totally get it. What the hell? All right, I would have gone to this one as a fan, straight up. It's a dopely stacked card. But top of the bill, headliner Charles Vegas, Islam Makhachev. A lot of people are 50-50. Like nobody, I can't tell you right now. Is fucking. What's up, Kairos? He goes, Aspen Lad about to miss the welterweight mark. Boy, if that happens, I'm gonna send you a beer. Okay. So I'm probably gonna send you a beer. But yeah, so Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev, there's no clear favorite. I mean, as the numbers go, I haven't seen him yet, right? But as far as like the fans go, a lot of people saying like, oh, Charles Oliveira, do Bronx. A lot of people are like, Islam's gonna get it easy. Where do you sit on that? Because the way I see it, anything Islam can do, Charles can do, outside of holding you down and keeping you down and kind of wet blanket, no offense, wet blanketing you a little bit. Where do you sit with it?
Man, I'm 50-50. I don't know.
Yeah.
As of Monday, October 17th, I don't know who's going to win. I don't know. I've been fence sitting the whole time. I was picking Islam and then I'm going back with Charles. I heard someone kind of give this breakdown a couple weeks ago, and I kind of like agree with it. I think the first round is going to be kind of chaos.
Oh yeah.
I think they're going to stand there for a little bit, and then who knows? But I think Islam's going to take Charles down, obviously, a couple times. But I think with Charles being so dangerous off of his back, I think he's going to keep doing it. It's gonna piss Islam off a little bit, wear him down, and I think they're going to go back on the feet, and that's where Charles could probably catch him, maybe, or it could be a fucking boring fight, and then Islam just Russell talks him for 5 rounds, which is entirely possible. And
Right.
I bet money that probably might happen. But I don't know. I don't know. All I know is it's going to be a shit show for this week, and it's going to be a shit show for a few days after this fight, because you feel the big fight atmosphere. Like this is going to be one of those fight nights where you have the butterflies,
Yeah.
Your heart's going to be pumping. It's one of those fights, and you can feel it. You can feel it all over social media. You can feel it in the atmosphere, man. It's such a good fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fight afternoon, folks. Okay, it's early card, 7 a.m. Pacific. In fact, you and I at the same time, right?
7 a.m. prelims. Woo!
7 a.m. prelims. I'm gonna be up here with like a half awake fucking toddler, live tweeting this shit. So come hang out at Cageside Press. Yeah. So that obviously it's gonna be afternoon card. I love these early cards personally, because then like I'll be done by 4 and I go have the rest of my day. It's gonna be dope. So I just a lot of people don't like it, but because a lot of people like to party during it, but I have to be awake and aware, so it works out for me.
Right.
Coming event, Aljamain Sterling, Rashida Dillashaw. First of all, how fast did social media turn on Mr. Aljamain Sterling? One picture with Andrew Tate, and then a couple tweets after, and suddenly he's the worst person ever. What'd you think? What'd you think of that?
It was just an idiotic statement from him.
Very much. I saw it. I was like, dude, no, shut up. Like, you had us, bro.
It was just so dumb, and then for him to like double down and like defend it, and I mean, it just, I get what he was saying, but it was just fucking stupid. Just, bro, get off Twitter and worry about your fight. You know what I'm saying?
Seriously.
Like, like that's, most fighters get off social media for fight week, and he should have done that, because now, I felt like, people hated him in 2020. most of 2021, I feel like fans were kind of slowly coming back to him, especially because he's fighting TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah.
And now the fans turned on him again. And it was just dumb. It was just dumb, idiotic thing for him to do. Yeah, so now it's like the battle of the two shitheads.
And it was funny because I don't remember if it was you or somebody else that posted that video of like when TJ Dillashaw realized everyone's on his side. I don't even know where that movie came from. Was that you or somebody else?
Somebody else.
Okay, but it was great. It's like that one dude that's like a bad guy, but then everyone starts cheering for him. It's like, oh, you know what I'm talking about?
The Boys, yeah.
Is that I've never seen it before. I just enjoy the memes. But
You've never seen The Boys?
Dude, I don't have a lot of time, bro.
Okay,
time out. Where do I watch it? Because I seriously, whenever you tweet out a recommendation, I shit you not. I will show you right now. My phone's fucking working on something, but I have it on my notes. I go Behuning's picks, and it's like if it's a good movie, I legitimately try to watch it. Is it a movie or a show?
It's a show.
Okay, where is it?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay, so I got Amazon Prime, so I can watch it. Cool.
I'll tell you on this. It's as if picture a world if superheroes were bad guys.
I'm in. Okay,
that's the show.
I'm gonna watch it. Okay. Fucking Kairos, dude. Watch The Boy.
Yeah, it's so good. It is so good.
I'll get on it, dude. I'm after I put the toddler down to sleep tonight, I'll watch an episode.
And it's like one of those shows where you're gonna watch it.
You want to binge it?
Binge it. You are.
Fuck, dude. Okay, I'm not trying.
You are.
All right. I hate binging shit, honestly. But all right. Yeah. All right. So this fight, real quick. TJ Dillashaw, Aljamain Sterling. I'm curious what TJ Dillashaw has for Aljamain, but it's like to me it's a who the hell knows kind of fight.
All of last week, I thought Sterling was going to win. I thought he was just going to submit Dillashaw. But the more I think about it, I think TJ Dillashaw is better everywhere. And unless he plays in Sterling's playground,
yeah,
I think that's the only way Sterling wins. And I think TJ Dillashaw is going to win. I think he's gonna reclaim his belt.
That would be wild, man. That'd be the story. But people are just gonna call him a cheater afterwards anyway. Like it's just gonna be the never anything.
Yeah, it is. But
he did it to himself. He did.
And the one thing, like, you know, there is like the stance where it's like once a cheater, always a cheater. But with him, I respect it where he came out, admitted it, he did his time. He's did. There's been a lot, and I think Dana even said it today. There's been a lot of fighters who've popped, and even my favorite fighter, Mr. Jon Jones, and they don't handle it like a man like TJ did, man. And it's so I mean,
fucking hold up, fucking Jay Anderson, folks, ladies and gentlemen, at Cageside Jay on Twitter. He posted in our chat right now. The Boys is definitely worth it. The show is wild. Alex is right. Shout out to Jay. What's up, dude? Now everyone's coming at me. Honestly, I didn't even know it was a show. I just saw the memes and I was like, where is this shit coming from? But all right, I'm in. All right.
Like Jay Anderson's the legend, man.
He's a legend.
But yeah. So I respect TJ for coming out, admitting it. I mean, of course, people are gonna be like, yeah, well, he got caught, so you duh. You know what I'm saying? But like the way he handled it, he gave up his belt. You know what I'm saying? Like the UFC didn't strip him. He gave up his belt and he did his time. So that's just I do have respect for that. So yeah, this is another 50-50 fight, but I'm picking TJ.
I see and SJ in the chat. He goes 50-50 on the main. He goes, I'm 50-50 on the co-main too. That's kind of where I am. Oh, and Aljo needs to talk less. 100%. Just shut the hell up. But I'm on that too. I'm 50-50 on the fight because Aljo showed a lot of grit in that fight against Petr Yan. But SJ goes, we all got to check out The Boys now. This Amazon Prime, pay us. All right, we just gave you a huge freaking advertisement. But yeah, dude, it's just one of those fights where I don't even know what's gonna happen. I'm excited for it though. Like I'm hyped for it. I honestly do not care who wins. Like I'm not. If TJ wins, I'm with you. I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's a cheater. Like if you did your time, you paid your bill, you did your time. Cool, you're back. As long as you're clean, fine. And now if you pop again after this fight, we have a long talk after that. Yeah. But hopefully that doesn't happen because I would hate to have him win and be illegitimate again. So we'll see. Speaking of Petr Yan, huge fight. Maybe more for Sean O'Malley than Petr Yan. I think Petr Yan's. I feel people expect him to win, but man, the way Sean O'Malley's been talking and moving, you just like, oh, but is Petr Yan gonna win? Cause damn, like, what do you think of this? Like, I may be more excited for this fight than the other ones, honestly.
It's very intriguing. Let me just say this: Petr Yan should win.
He should.
He is the better all around fighter. He's more skillful. He's got it all. But Sean he's different. He's wild. He's got a style that's very hard, and he can put your lights out with one punch. And lately, Petr Yan has been starting slow. So,
Yes.
like that's the one thing where like he's been a slow starter, and if you do that against Sean O'Malley, he could put your lights out. So I don't know what's I don't know. If Petr loses, fucking Kairos.
If Petr loses, he has to change his name because that's just crazy.
It's. I would like I would love Sean O'Malley to win just so that just the madness madness of it. But I just other than Sean O'Malley knocking Petr Yan out, I just don't see a way he wins. He could use his height and length and kind of point fight.
Yeah.
That could happen. I don't know. I just don't see a way that he wins other than him coming out there and knocking Petr Yan out.
I'm curious. Actually, fucking beat me to it. He goes, I got Sean O'Malley. He better check those leg kicks that are be coming though. That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, there's a lot of legs on Mr. O'Malley. Sugar got a lot of legs, all right. And Petr Yan's really good at kicking those things. So it's gonna be. I think the game plan is gonna be, like you said, start fast and like right off the bat and take it to Petr and try to take him out early. But if he wins, man, the internet's gonna explode.
I mean, if Sean O'Malley wins, I mean, it's superstardom. Like on
easily,
easily. It's crazy. But man, he has a fucking big task in front of him, and fucking it's. I think Cairo said it. It's respect for Petr Yan for taking this fight. It's a fucking. He has everything to lose.
Fucking Kairos goes, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm dead ass. Chris Moutinho showed us exactly how Sean can be beaten.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So, no, for sure.
We'll see how it goes, man. It's going to be, I don't know. To me, it's a very, very exciting fight. I think everyone's excited about that one, but that one I might be more like, I guess, excited or intrigued. Like, it might be the better word.
No, for sure. It's
because I'm just I
don't know. And Sean has been saying it for years. Like he knows how to beat Petr. So it's put up or shut up. You know what I'm saying?
That's a long ass fight to go over there and get beat. So O'Malley needs to get that shit done.
Yeah.
All right. Other fights, we're not really going to get into too much. Although this is a great fight, but Dariush against Mateusz Gamrot, that should be pretty solid.
Gamrot by knockout.
Probably. Especially with Benio, they were considering him instead of Islam. Or whatever, considering him to fight instead of one of the two headliners. But it'd be really sad if Dariush loses. I'll say that much. Then Chikagan is Mania Fierro. Okay. So that's and the prelims are just all local guys that took probably they're taking an Uber to the fight. So like Bilal Muhammad, Sean Brady, cool. They're going to be a nice little one. Kyle Bojala, I don't know if you saw that dude. And I'm sure it's because he got to rent a car there for free, probably. But he actually did if you go on his Instagram, he did an ad for a rental car place in Abu Dhabi. Like, if you guys want to rent a supercar when you're here, like, come to this place. It's great, some stuff. And I'm sitting here going, like, motherfucker, when am I going to be in Abu Dhabi? Out of your mind?
Get that money, bro. Get that money.
I need that money. Shit. Volkan Ozdemir against Nikita Krylov is low key, like a dope ass fight in the prelims. Zubair Tukhugov against Lucas Almeida. If you guys don't know Zubair, I'm pretty sure he's one of the guys that jumped into the cage when Khabib beat Conor and punched Conor in the face after the melee. Abubakar Nurmagomedov against Jesus Christ with the last names, guys. Armin Petrosian against Adrian Dobson. Well, I'm kind of curious as to why Mokaev is this far down on the card.
He has been his first two fights. They're keeping him low, but I mean, I think it's just because he's gonna blow through Malcolm Gorman. 2 minutes.
I think he will too. Like that's what I'm saying there. Like, man, he should be higher up or something. But all right. Then first fight of the night, Carol Rosa against Lena Landsberg. To be honest, I did not know Lena Landsberg was still even fighting. So, good to see she's still doing it. All right. That's all I had planned for the show. Anything else you want to talk about today?
No. What about Dana White telling Barstool that Alexander Volkanovski is next for the title?
Huh? For lightweight?
Lightweight.
So he's next, because I heard he's the backup.
No, he is the backup, but he's next. He gets the winner of Islam versus Charles, and then they also said that the winner of O'Malley versus Jon gets the next bantamweight title shot too.
That one I get. That one I understand. But Volkanovski, you just try to make another champ. I guess, man. I mean, do what you got to do, Dana. But damn, boy, like there's lightweight's kind of. There's a lot of guys at lightweight that won title shot too, dog.
There is like poor Benil. Like if he beats Gamrot,
for real.
Like there is that. But I think, Volkanovski's earned it, man. He's put in his time. He's cleaned out the division basically. Like there is the Yair fight.
Yeah.
And they could, but
we'll see. I don't know. I'm not convinced he'll win. He would be either guy, but I definitely for sure so will watch it because every time I bet against freaking Volkanovski, it makes me look stupid. So
he's good, man. He's good.
So good. Bro, I was at was it 266? Yeah, 266 when he had when he got stuck in that guillotine or whatever, or the guillotine with Ortega, and I was like, it's over. And when he popped his head out, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Wow. So
thank God if you find too close to someone. Yeah, there is a good chance. It's just they're so much bigger than him, which is weird because Volkanovski used to be a heavyweight or like a fucking big boy.
Was he like 240 or 220 something like that in rugby?
Yeah, some shit like that.
He's a big motherfucker.
Yeah, he's a big boy, but like height, he's not tall. You know what I'm saying? So like.
Volkanovski's not gonna beat you vertically. That's not gonna happen.
Exactly. But I want to see it. I always like seeing greatness. I like seeing fighters fight for greatness. That's why I was always fine with Izzy going up for it. And so the champ stuff. The only thing that's annoying about the championship is that it slows down the division.
That's what I hate about it.
But in this case, it's a perfect opportunity to do Yair versus Josh Emmett for the interim title.
You ain't trying to hear that, but I hear you. I know what you're saying.
He said he'll do an interim title, but it has to be for the title. He's not fighting anybody else for, what I'm saying. So, but then again, like he could headline a pay-per-view with Volkanovski in February in Australia. You know what I'm saying? So there is that. So it just depends. Like if Charles wins this weekend, it's 99.9% that he'll turn around and fight in January in Brazil.
Damn, it's quick.
If Islam wins and Volkanovski's next, would they do Volkanovski versus Islam in Perth, Australia?
Maybe. That'd be a good move. You're gonna do paper. If that's gonna be is that a pay-per-view for sure?
Yeah, that's a pay-per-view.
Okay, if it's pay-per-view for sure, then that's a move.
Because who else would do? They're not.
Izzy's fighting in New York in November, so that's not gonna happen.
That'd be
unless he knocks out Alex, which who knows, right? But this is a quick knockout. Then you could put Izzy as a headliner on that against whoever. But
yeah, it's interesting because if Alex doesn't fight on that Perth card, Izzy doesn't fight on that Perth card, are they going to headline it with Robert Whittaker in a non-title bout? Probably not.
No. I don't know, dude. That's interesting. Who's Whittaker got? Whittaker has a fight, doesn't he?
He's teasing it. I think it's probably going to be Paulo Costa.
I'll watch it. That's fucking that just visibly haven't seen both guys in person. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, no, it's like what does Paulo say? He goes, hey, that makes sense. Wait, no, it doesn't make sense. It's like that freaking meme. That's what I think when I see those two guys. I'm like, I want to see them standing across from each other. I just want to see what happened, what it looks like.
Yeah.
But Cairo says James Krause can no longer gamble for or against his fighters. He probably come out of time to make ends meet. Well, he just retired too, like 5 minutes ago. Tank, do you have to suck up to Uncle Dana like Brenda Slob said? Maybe. That's the weird part. Is Brendan talking all kinds of stuff, but I feel like no one heard it. So
he's a dumb.
It makes me laugh when you fucking like talk about it. I'm like, oh shit, like because it makes sense. As far as flying too close to the sun, there, Kairos. We're both in the same type of environment, me and Alex now, since he moved to Vegas. So actually, it was really good weather out here. We didn't get past 85 today. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, no, the weather is really nice right now.
Yeah, this is why we live in Arizona/Vegas, okay? Because you get shit for like 4 months and then awesome for a while. So, and then as you said, if Volkanovski fought one of them, I'd rather be Oliveira. Me too. That'd be a way more fun fight to me. So
yeah.
All right, and then one more thing. It's your favorite fighter, Jon Jones. They're trying to make him fight. They're trying to make him, but they're trying to set him up for UFC 282. I don't see how you get Francis Ngannou in there because of the knee and because of the contract. I think that'll be March at best. But Stipe, no one heard nothing from Stipe. I always see from Stipe, he's on vacation in like Hawaii or somewhere, eating ice cream.
So I have a little bit of insight.
Okay.
John is either fighting. It's down to Francis or Stipe. He's not fighting anybody else.
Nobody else. Okay.
They offered him a couple names. He said no. Francis is not going to be ready by December. Stipe has been denying the fight. He wants a pay bump because he realized he wants a pay bump, and I'm guessing because he knows if he loses to Jon Jones, the UFC will probably release him because they just don't like dealing with him.
Yeah,
and he won't ever get another shot at the heavyweight title. So, he's one of these. He's in a spot where it's like I'm going to get paid as much as I can before I fight Jon Jones. So, with it being October, 2 months away, it's every day that the fight doesn't get announced, it just looks like it's not going to happen. So, with January in Brazil, February in Australia, March is most likely going to be Vegas. That's what we do. So that will be, and that's what they're going to try and do. Jon Jones versus Francis in March. That's
what I was thinking too, because I was like, there's no way you haven't announced it already. If you haven't announced it already, you're not going to make it happen. And like, I'm with you. It was never going to be Ngannou. It's just never going to be it. Too much shit. The knee and the contract problem. Like there's two big ass problems that you don't have any answers for. So the guy has to be Stipe. And Stipe is a smart dude. He knows, like you said, he knows his time's up pretty much. He's got one more. Like, you better pay me to fight this guy for sure. Yeah. And then so we'll see, man. People are all excited about it, but
it's just like it makes no sense because it's the light heavyweight goat versus the heavyweight goat. Like right. You can sell it. But I mean, Stipe wants to get paid, so it is what it is. With the Francis versus John, like there's still a lot of hurdles for Francis with the payment because I think Ariel said today, like, I don't know what the options are for him outside of the UFC, right? Like, he could easily go to PFL and get $1 million. They could do that. Boxing, who's going to pay Francis Ngannou? Who's going to pay for Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury, or what I recommended, Tyson Fury versus or Francis Ngannou versus Deontay Wilder?
I would love that, but yeah,
we would love that, but who's paying for it? Nobody. Like, because we all know, like, he's going to get fucking sparked by Deontay Wilder, like. So like what really is the like market out for him? Like I don't know. I think and plus I think he's like 37. So like
he's not young. He's not young.
He's not young. He's in the twilight of his career. He's the biggest he's ever been. So it just hopefully I hope he stays in the UFC because
me too.
It's just where he belongs. I hope he gets paid. I hope he deserves to get paid a lot of money for he knocks people dead. Other than the Cyril Gane fight, which he had no knees.
Right. And he still wrestled his ass off. Like, dude, how the hell?
Yeah. Other than his last fight, like he knocks people dead, and people like when heavyweights knock people out. He does it. You know what I'm saying? So like he's an attraction. Hopefully he gets paid. And then Francis versus Jon Jones, like that is a fucking huge fight. You know, like they could even push it to July for international fight week, but then that's Jon Jones not fighting for another 6 months. You know, so
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
he haven't fought in like 3 years or whatever it's been. So I mean, what's another 6 months at this point?
Yeah, that's true. And then I think someone, Chocolate Toast. If they don't announce Jon Jones this weekend, then he's not fighting.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen
in December. So
yeah, Chocolate Toast goes, look at these sexy mofos. Appreciate you, my guy. As she said, I feel Stipe on trying to get paid, but the pay-per-view should do big numbers, so he would do well financially. Right. But if it's your last fight, more than likely, you need to maximize dollars, man. So I get it. All right. I got nothing else. You got anything?
That's it. Gotta get I gotta prep myself for 7 a.m. prelims.
Start setting your alarm clock now and wake up for the next 3 days or 4 days at 7 a.m. and then you'll be ready. It's like fighters that fight at midnight. They train at night.
Yeah, I gotta get 7 a.m. prelims and then stay up till like 2 o'clock for weigh-ins on Friday.
Oh shit, that's right. I'm not doing that. Thank you, Jay. I hope you're working nights, bro, because I'm not being up at 2 a.m. or we're gonna get those after the fact. Real quick, I know fourth wall stuff. Do you know anybody from the media flying to Abu Dhabi? I have one guy I know probably went, but
I know Oscar is over there. Jose is over there.
That one, yeah, that's the one I knew. I figured you'd go.
A couple junkie guys.
Oscar, I mean, yeah, I figured Oscar would go. Like that dude's international. So, yeah, no, I was talking to some people. I'm like, hey, you going? They're like, hell no. I think I asked you too. I was like, you going? You're like, no. So, all right. Appreciate everyone that tuned in tonight. You guys are dope as fuck. Alex, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I was talking. I was doing all talking. I did a play-by-play on the main card on Saturday for Grasso. It was fun, but that's the longest I've talked in a long time. It's like 2 hours 40 some minutes of just me going. So, which I can do easily, but like I wouldn't want to listen to myself for 2.5 hours. Like I would get bored of myself if I was just a viewer. So, anyway, everyone that tuned in tonight, appreciate the hell out of you guys. SJ, Toast. Yeah, Toast goes, I'll go for you guys. Yeah, you and the little guy definitely go do a show over there. Toast, SJ, Tank, Kairos, appreciate you. I haven't seen Kairos in a minute. I do see your stuff online though on Instagram though, so that's always dope stuff, man. Keep it up. And then I don't know who this first Aoxis Rocks was, but I appreciate you jumping on too. All right. You can follow Alex at Alex Behunin. Just look for the check mark. You find him on there. He's a superstar. I'm at EDL32 on Twitter, at Cageside Press for everything Cageside Press, and of course CagesidePress.com. At Cageside Press on Instagram too. We post shit all the time. All right. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Mr. Jay Anderson who tuned in tonight and let me know. And let me know about the what the hell? Chocolate breaking news. Toast with Cageside Press slaps Hasbullah back. No one ever slaps that guy back. That bothers me. I don't know why. Anyway, all right. Appreciate the hell out of you guys. Shout out to everyone who tuned in. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Good night. See you guys later.